Hi, Movie Chronicles here. Today I will explain an American action comedy film called The Hitman's Bodyguard. The first scene features a character named Michael Bryce, who is driving to the AAA Bodyguard Awards. As he receives his award, he hears a man named Darius Kincaid cackling at him from all directions. Michael dashes out and sees his doomed client, Kurosawa, conversing with him. Darius soon arrives and shoots Kurosawa. It is then revealed as Michael's dream, so Michael visits his therapist to discuss his recurring dream. He expresses his disappointment at not being able to obtain the AAA bodyguard. The therapist encourages him to take a vacation, away from bodyguarding and weapons, to which Michael agrees. In the following scene, Mr. Fisher, the head of the EU, announces Greece will impose more sanctions, which is met with widespread opposition. As the announcement happens, Mr. Fisher's guard is killed, and someone takes Mr. Fisher to Athens. Mr. Fisher is then confronted by a terrorist named Aristotle Papadopoulos, who is dissatisfied with Mr. Fisher's decision. Aristotle reveals his strategy for destabilizing Europe. Following that, Aristotle's men suffocate and kill Mr. Fisher with a plastic bag. On the other hand, Michael is enjoying his vacation in Italy, but Darius's wife, Sonia, quickly ruins his vacation. As a swarm of shooters storm the resort, Sonia bites the shooters and informs Michael that the mafia has kidnapped Darius. She also asks Michael for assistance, and the two escape on a scooter while opposing the shooters. Michael initially refuses to assist because he is on a severe break, avoiding weapons and fights, but later he agrees to help her in rescuing Darius. On the other side, the two Aristotle employees meet the weapon dealer in Croatia. The dealer demonstrates a device that destroys the power grid in the chosen area. As a result, there are numerous fatalities and widespread chaos in the city. Following this, Aristotle is impressed, and he orders his men to assassinate the dealers and seize the weapons. The Interpol arrives at the crime scene the following day, where an American Interpol agent named Bobby O'Neill is approached by his superior, Crowley. Crowley instructs Bobby to locate the device and agrees to return him to his home in Boston if he solves the case. She also asks Elso, her translator, to collaborate with him. In the next scene, Michael and Sonia arrive at the location where Darius is kept. Michael instructs Sonia to proceed slowly and with a simple plan, but Sonia enters the gate and murders some of the henchmen. Following that, they enter the building, killing everyone in their path. After hearing the gunshots, Darius seizes the opportunity to assassinate the remaining henchmen, including their boss, Carlo. Darius and Sonia are delighted to meet each other, but Darius does not appear to be pleased to see Michael. Darius reminds his wife that he asked for anyone but Michael. When Darius and Sonia are about to leave, they are kidnapped along with Michael. All three are brought to Bobby, confronting them about Carlo's death. Bobby asks them to work for him and assist him in catching their target. Bobby also assigned Sonia as Carlo's mistress and Michael as Sonia's bodyguard. They set out for their mission, but on the way, Sonia becomes suspicious and angry with her husband because he left during their honeymoon. Darius admits, stating that he has taken a job. They eventually make a stop at the grocery store. Sonia is still in the car as Michael and Darius enter the store. Sonia notices Darius talking on his phone a few moments later. She tries to hit Darius with the vehicle out of suspicion, but instead hits Michael. Following that, Darius plans to see Carmen, which surprises his wife and makes her happy. That afternoon, the couple begins to have fun with Bobby's money. They keep Michael inside the trunk for the entire day until he regains consciousness. Michael yells at Sonia and Darius for their immature behavior when he gets out of the trunk. They continue with their mission. Darius remains outside with a sniper, while Michael and Sonia enter a club to meet with a man named Vladimir. Vladimir hands Sonia a briefcase inside the club, capable of bringing Europe's power grid down. He also forces her to wear a bracelet that will explode if it becomes detached from the briefcase. At the same time, Michael's previous client approaches him and addresses him by name. Vladimir is skeptical of both Michael and Sonia, and he mocks them. When Vladimir refers to Sonia as old, she becomes enraged and begins shooting Vladimir's men. They both manage to kill everyone, including Vladimir, but one of the survivors hits Sonia. Michael pushes Sonia aside, taking a bullet in himself. Sonia immediately kills the man and drags Michael out of the boat, allowing them to flee before Interpol arrives. After escaping to a safe location, Darius and Sonia believe Michael is dead, so they dump him in the water. Michael soon regains consciousness and reveals that he was wearing Kevlar. After some time, Michael mentions his broken ribs, to which Sonia hands him a tablet, claiming it to be a pain reliever. They take the briefcase and travel to Italy, searching for Aristotle. Michael notices Aristotle's bodyguard, named Magnuson, declares him a top-tier bodyguard, whereas Darius sees Aristotle's hitman, Santo, who has taken some of Darius's business. Magnuson then spots the three of them and orders Santo to shoot them. The three begin to flee, but Magnuson and other shooters pursue them. Sonia's painkillers turn out to be lithium, and as a result, Michael loses consciousness. Darius and Sonia drive recklessly through the streets, causing Michael to bang inside the back of the car. However, the three of them manage to flee. Michael regains consciousness after the escape and becomes enraged at them for giving him lithium. Michael then walks away alone, praying for a sign. He sees the sign repeatedly, which persuades him to visit Tuscany. Michael then returns to Sonia and apologizes for his inappropriate behavior. They then meet Michael's stepfather, his role model and top-rated bodyguard. Darius is taken aback to learn that Michael's father is black. Michael's father invites all three of them to a meal, but when he sees gelato in the meal, he becomes sad and walks away. Michael's father informs Darius and Sonia that Michael had a close relationship with his mother. When Michael went to get gelato at a carnival, an obsessed man falls from a ride and collided with his mother, killing her. Michael has since blamed himself for the accident. Sonia then walks over to Michael and consoles him and forgives him. Michael's father hands over the car keys to complete their mission in the next scene, making Michael very happy. They all drive to a safe location, but they are tranquilized and kidnapped by Aristotle's men. When Aristotle confronts Sonia, she reveals that Aristotle was her lover before she fell from the yacht and suffered from amnesia. Following this, Aristotle dispatches Michael and Darius to torture. He converses with Sonia and promises to provide her with a family. Aristotle also turns off the bracelet and removes it from Sonia's wrist. On the other hand, a couple of Aristotle's men interrogate Michael and Darius. Michael distracts the men during the interrogation, allowing Darius to kill them. Both set out to save Sonia, but Sonia appears to be duped by Aristotle. Sonia ends her relationship with Darius, claiming he lied to her. Soon after, the shooters open fire on them, causing them to flee and split up. Michael returns to his stepfather for assistance, but upon arrival, he discovers that his stepfather is the head of security for Aristotle. Michael's stepfather dismisses him as a blot on his legacy and throws him out. Depressed, Michael burns his father's car and goes to a bar where he meets Darius. A few moments later, a bartender informs Darius that he has a phone call from his wife. Sonia tells Darius Aristotle has dispatched a group of gunmen to kill them. She also admits she lied about the end of their relationship to save them from Aristotle that day. She says that she hasn't suffered from amnesia and still adores Darius. Soon after, the shooters attack Michael and Darius, so they flee, evading the assailants. This time, Michael neglects to wear his seatbelt, and as a result of their car crash, he is thrown into the river. The following morning, Darius encourages Michael to go for the showdown, claiming that he doesn't need a bodyguard license to save people. Darius also reveals that he and Sonia have difficulty having a baby because he was shot in the balls during one of the previous missions by Michael. A few moments later, Interpol finds and interrogates them, but they persuade Crowley to help them with the mission. Michael then requests a boat, weapons, and the services of 2 Interpol agents for the task. To distract Aristotle, Michael and Darius use Interpol agents as decoys. Darius and Michael dive into the sea to reach the yacht, where Aristotle intends to detonate the drill and destroy Europe's power grid. Magnuson attacks Michael as they approach the yacht, while Santo attacks Darius. Michael battles Magnuson for a while before smashing Magnuson's head inside a jukebox. Darius, meanwhile, kills Santo with a ricochet bullet. When Aristotle learns that Magnuson and Santo are no longer alive, he grabs a gun and flees, ordering his girl to murder Sonia. Aristotle begins shooting at Darius, and one of the bullets strikes Darius's foot. Aristotle threatens Darius with a gun, but Michael arrives at Darius's bodyguard and asks Aristotle to stop. Michael's stepfather comes as Aristotle's bodyguard at the same time. Michael fights with his stepfather, while Darius tries to fight back with Aristotle. Meanwhile, Sonia murders Aristotle's girl and assists Darius in murdering Aristotle. On the other hand, Michael stabs his stepfather's neck with a pocket knife, causing him to die after a few moments. Finally, his stepfather expresses his admiration, but informs him the device is nearly activated and that if he interrupts the process, the ship will explode. Michael doesn't care about his life and disrupts the process. When he deactivates the device, he, Sonia, and Darius jump off the boat before the explosion, saving their lives. Interpol then apprehends the three of them and appreciates their work. Bobby hands Michael some papers and asks him to sign them, leading Michael to believe that he is regaining his bodyguard license. Sonia then reveals the paper as an adoption document, indicating that Michael is now officially Darius and Sonia's son. Michael and Darius are both taken aback when they hear this, and here the movie ends. For more unique and fascinating movies that you may not even have heard about, click on the videos on your screen. Also, do subscribe, like, and comment. Your one act will make a huge difference to us.